This should be played at high volume.
This is the podcast of beats, and their whole team is complete. They feeding the streets, other people can't compete. Shit, you got Carlo, got Kenny, got Baba, got Uncle. You cannot forget Malik, and you got Ski. Yeah, the whole roster elite. They bringing the heat every
week. Welcome back. This is the same convo with your same host, Kenny, Malik, and Bamba. Today, we are not live and we do not have Kenny with us, but he will be back with us on the next episode. As y'all can see, we do have a special guest, my boy, my friend, Tim Frazier. Tim, how you doing tonight, brother?
I'm good, brother. How everybody doing tonight? Everybody feeling good?
Hey, man.
Cool.
We feeling all right. Since
almost Thanksgiving, right?
Woo! Yeah. I'm ready to eat. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yes, sir.
I've been eating all weekend, but I want Thanksgiving food.
Hey, you want it for like 2 days, and then you don't want it no more.
Well, look, hey, not me. Those leftovers, look. And the people be talking about accurate shelf lives. Nah, during Thanksgiving, I believe in extended shelf life.
That's true.
But
that's true.
Before we get into it, y'all, I got the sports segment today. But like I said, Tim, since you brand new on the pod, if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself. You was former collegiate athlete. Talk a little bit about that, and then give us your favorite teams as far as NBA, NFL, college, and then any other sports you follow.
Yeah. So my name is Tim. I actually moved to Houston. I want to say like 7 months ago, maybe 8 months. My wife and my dogs. I love sports. I actually met Carlil. We hooped together. About to hoop again in a little basketball league, whatnot. Our team was ass. We were not. Our team sucked. But we did not, but they suck. Anyways, but we're gonna be hooping again. I love sports, man. I've been playing sports my whole life. I ran track in college, played football, played basketball, played everything, baseball too. When it comes to sports teams, I'm kind of split because my mom is from New York, my dad is from Atlanta, so I'm an Atlanta Falcons fan. I'm a Braves fan. Yeah. But I'm also, when it comes to NBA, I don't really have a team. I have a favorite player. I've been following LeBron since I was a little kid, so I've been rocking with him. But if I had to pick a team, I guess I really like watching, obviously the Lakers, but I really like watching the Timberwolves. I'm a big AE fan. So most people don't notice about me. I love baseball actually, really a lot. I follow it on the low. So I'm a big sports enthusiast. It doesn't matter, man. And yeah, hopefully my team can actually be good for once, but we'll see.
For sure.
Oh yeah, and I'm a UConn basketball fan to the day I die. Always.
Hey man, we love that. Look, I don't think as far as basketball, even though I did go to UK, fuck them. It's Kentucky basketball and Kansas basketball over here. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay.
Nah, for sure. And actually, I forgot, we do got another special appearance. You feel me? Malik, this is the first time we done seen Bomba real face on a podcast in like 2 months.
It's probably because we're not live.
In fact.
I'm weak. Come on, cuz.
Oh, for sure. But now let's get into it. Let's get into it. Like I said, we got a couple limited questions today. But the first question I wanna pop off, a big story in the sports world right now. Is Shadeur Sanders getting his first career start. He led his team to a win over the Raiders. He had 209 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So my question to y'all is, if y'all watched the game, how did he look? Do you think he looked like at that one game that he looked better than Dylan Gabriel? Tim, I'm gonna start off with you on that.
It's first off, shout out the boy Shadeur. He's been going through the most trials and tribulations since he, got into the draft. And there are times where I felt like he had a learning curve, but overall, we know the boy can play. This is a kid that came from college that won the quarterback award. You don't just get that award because you kind of fell into being lucky as a QB in the collegiate level. Like, no, you did great things in college. And I think the Browns organization is a terrible organization for quarterbacks. It just
Facts.
is. And I think that in general, him getting the opportunity and him playing the way he did, small sample size, it's the Raiders. It's not the Eagles or the Patriots or a defense. We're going to see more out of him. I'm just glad that he gets the opportunity to showcase that he does belong in the league where, he's living in kind of a small shadow of what his pops did. For those who don't know, obviously Deion Sanders, in my mind, the greatest cornerback of all time. So he's trying to put a name for himself in the conversation a little bit, but also just he's a kid. Like he's a child. He's still got to
Right.
learn the system. We gotta get this man some time and provide him with better tools. Doesn't matter if you put Tom Brady in that system. That system sucks. That offense is horrible, and the offensive line is garbage. So excited to watch him thrive, and hopefully he deals with the pressure and the expectations.
For sure. For sure. Malik, what you think?
I didn't see the game. I saw some of the highlights. I will say he definitely knows how to play football. So let's go ahead and get that understood now. Two, to answer your question, is he able to replace or should the Browns replace what's his face? I mean, if they want to invest in the future and actually say this is our quarterback, then sure, and have a solid second quarterback, then cool. But would they actually do it? Probably not. As again, they're a terrible team, terrible organization, but he's definitely has a chance to making it a good team. It's not a strong team to actually fight to get to the playoffs.
For sure. Obama, what you think?
I think that he's way better than Dylan Gabriel's. Like if we're like looking just like I feel like this game allowed us to compare similar plays that Dylan Gabriel's have had in the past games. And Shadeur for him it was successful. So I feel like you already can compare the two, see where the success is. Two, the fans and the players are behind Shadeur. Like you see the energy. That stadium was roaring all throughout all of it.
Facts.
And like they don't have any quarterbacks that have been able to throw the ball. Like you have tried, like I'm not even talking about Dylan Gabriel, like any quarterback in general. So I feel like just the momentum that you're able to get off from this win, he's gonna start the next game. If he does well, he definitely needs to be the starting quarterback because we know like the argument he should have been drafted way earlier. There is no reason why he fell to the fifth round and already like he should have been starting. The only reason they're not doing it is because he went to the fifth round and already I don't know what the issue is with his head coach. They just don't get along. He's
Nah,
gonna start.
I feel
Fans
that.
want it, the players want it.
I feel that. I feel that. I respect everybody's opinion. Tim, on this podcast, during, after college, while he was drafted, even at the beginning of the, preseason, some of the start of the season, I was an avid Dylan Gabriel supporter, as in that he should have, as in Shador, there was no shakiness going on with, how he got drafted, that he wasn't starting or anything like that. But I will say, as the actual season started and Dylan has got his chance, it's been harder and harder to kind of defend him over Shador. I do defend and will die on the hill that I am on that. Dylan Gabriel had a way better college career than Shador Sanders, and he played
For
better
sure.
teams than Shador did, just being the Oregon quarterback, playing in the Big Ten. But also, I have to realize reality, and it's kind of hard to defend, playing 6 games and you only had one game over 200 passing yards versus Shador starting one game, playing that one game, and having 200 yards passing already. So I will say that game specifically is the only game I feel like Shador has looked better than any Dylan Gabriel games in the past. So I think I am ready to say that Shador should be given that chance to be the starting quarterback. You feel me? They were both drafted this year. They were both rookies. You gave Dylan Gabriel a chance to start. You seen what he can do. You seen that what he's going to give you. It's not like y'all are going anywhere this season, so you might
Mhm.
as well give Shador, those next few games to see if what if what happened on the field this past Sunday is definitely is what's going to translate, to the rest of the season. Because the one thing Kevin Stefanski said in one of his post interviews, like for Shadeur, the goal was to win the game. That was step one. Step two is not progression. You feel me? You feel me? So they're going to see how he progresses throughout the season. So, like I said, I do believe now that he deserves that chance.
You know what's interesting? We
Hmm.
one thing that we talk about when he fell in the draft, we can't ignore how wildly overconfident he was when he came out. And let's talk about the off the field antics of not taking on every interview with certain teams, and I don't want to go for that team. And I think that really hurt his draft stock a lot. And there are times where I look at him and I'm like, all right, I get it. I hear the confidence, I see it, I know you want it. But sometimes, again, he's a kid. We got to learn how to like realize he's got to be a professional. It happens to everybody.
Right.
But I think Dylan Gabriel was great in college. Obviously, he was a Heisman, nominee type player, and Oregon runs a system for those style of quarterbacks.
Right.
However, do you believe that Dylan Gabriel, when he left, what did he leave Oklahoma, I believe?
Yeah.
Or he left Oklahoma. That's a different system. That system wasn't for him. Do you
Exactly.
believe that Dylan Gabriel could have played in, I don't know, the SEC, or could he have played in I'm thinking about the other, not the ACC. What's the one that Ohio State and
The Big Ten.
um,
Big Ten.
the Big Ten? You
So
think he
I
could?
mean, he was in the Big Ten. He played at Oregon.
True,
Yeah.
true, true. But do you think he would have, if he would have played and stepped in for Michigan and Ohio State, could he have produced? Oregon is a system made for a West Coast style offense.
Mhm.
Their offense is predicated on dumping dimes, not really sending a pocket. And I've seen many times Shadeur sit back there and take a hit and deliver that ball and deliver a strike. I think his toughness is just way better. And that comes from up here. I'm not
Yeah.
saying Dylan Gabriel's not mentally tough. I'm just saying, as a quarterback like him, he's made for the league. He's
Right.
gonna learn it and figure it out fast. So I wish him nothing but the best.
No, and one thing you just mentioned about toughness. So I did want to ask you this specific question. What do you think Shador can do? Because historically, he's been known to like give up unnecessary sacks. So I do not deny that he is tough. But how do you think he can develop as a play extender to where he's not giving up, you know, as many sacks as he usually does? Because even in the Raiders game, he got sacked a lot, and I just know, like, when you think about play extenders, one person that comes to mind to me, he's the best play extending quarterback of all time. Ben Roethlisberger. But of course, like Ben was a fucking cannon. Now I mean, like 6'6", stocky. You feel me? Like, so there's a reason why it was hard to tackle him. But like I said, what do you think Shador can do to like
I had a
minimize that?
bet in my mind. I said, I wonder how long it's gonna take for us to get a quick Steelers Ben Roethlisberger sneak in. And it was right around 10 minutes, and here we are talking about Big Ben. Big Ben is a legend.
Facts.
But you guys watch football.
Yeah.
Everything has to be processed fast, right? When you go to the line of scrimmage, you're saying a bunch of things, but you should know your progressions. You have to go through your progressions. The best thing you can do to not get sacked is to get the ball out quick. You can't stand in the pocket and put your lineman in a position where they're trying to like hold the line and you're moving around and you're taking an unnecessary hit. If your first read's not there, check it down. Understand that the game is faster, is more brutal. And even some of the great quarterbacks who we know, like Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow and even Tom Brady later in his career, and even Aaron Rodgers now in the Steelers, he gets the ball out quick. That's because he knows his first and second progression. And then if that second progression isn't there, then you're extending the play. So in my mind, he's got to learn the offense, but that's not his fault. They got to simplify it. They had to do the same thing in Chicago, even though Ben over here made the craziest offensive playbook for Caleb Williams I've ever seen in my life. But that's Ben Johnson is that type of coach.
Nah, for sure, for sure. And you know what? Actually, let's. I was about to dive into the Chicago Bears after you mentioned Ben Johnson, but I don't want to talk about those
Nah,
niggas today.
nah,
I
nah.
really don't. And actually, Bamba, I'm glad. I'm glad Kenny's not here because this man had the nerve. Because so in our group chat, I texted, "Fuck Chicago." Fuck a whole bunch of fuck the Bean, fuck the Sears Tower, fuck Portillo's, fuck Harold's Chicken,
Damn.
fuck 63rd,
Dang.
fuck everything about Chicago. But that was during the game. Of course, they edged us out. Pause. 28-31. 28-31. They ended up winning that game. But Kenny did not text me until an hour and 40 minutes after the
Because
game.
he doesn't watch the shit.
That's what I. That's what. I,
He
that's
doesn't
what I
watch the
said.
shit.
He literally was like, I was literally was like, you did not watch the game. You're a fraud. He was like, how you know I ain't watched the game? I was like, you texted me an hour and 40. I said, why didn't you text me during or afterwards? He was like, I was playing the game. Like, come on, bro. Come
Then
on,
he gets
bro.
someone on Instagram.
Facts. Exactly. He saw an update on Instagram. But to not spend too much time on that, does anybody have any closing thoughts on Shadeur, Dylan, anything like that?
Now, I think that what you were saying as far as like the sacks, I think Tim broke it down perfectly. And just to kind of add up to it, like this man has only been playing with the offense for like a week. Like, so eventually he's gonna learn how to function a lot better, how to get that ball out a lot quicker. And
Mm,
even when you're comparing it to Dylan Gabriel, I think that the sacks are better than how somebody like Dylan Gabriel will handle it. Because yes, he doesn't get sacked as much, but he does throw that ball off to UConn like way too often. Like he's gonna fucking chuck that shit somewhere.
facts.
But Shador did a way better job, like just especially with their O line being so poor, he did a way better job of holding on the ball and actually trying to see like his options like
Mm,
before throwing it out. And then he did eventually get sacked, but
yeah,
I
no.
can live with that.
I agree. And I understand where everybody's coming from. Like I said, I can admit when I'm wrong sometimes, when I'm
Some
rarely wrong,
weeks.
because I'm rarely wrong.
What? Let me ask you this: What did you see? What did you see in the beginning that you felt like Dylan had that Shador didn't?
I
Because
felt
you know how when we had the it factor, did you feel like he had the it factor?
it wasn't even because neither one of them I feel like had the it factor. Even in preseason, I felt Dylan Gabriel was not playing up to his potential. I was like, I can name like 7 or 8 different games he played in college, whether that be Oregon or Oklahoma, that he looked so
Mm,
much better than. I mean, like, granted it's college, but like there's just a look about a quarterback and them feeling confident. Neither one of them looked too confident. That's one,
Right.
and then
hmm
also I do feel like what made me pick Dylan over Shador in the beginning. It felt like Dylan had a little not confidence, but more poise in the pocket, but also
mm,
a lot more precision throws. You feel me? And again, it was also the thing of like we were talking about, like Shador has to extend the play sometime because he does not get the ball out, quick enough. And I felt like Dylan Gabriel was able to make decisions, whether that be, mid range pass or, just a check down. You feel me? So that's kind of what did it for me. But like I said, this is the first game where I'm like, yeah, I think he's better than Dylan. So but
he's also
move,
taller. I'm sorry, that does matter.
height,
Way
height
a
does
lot.
matter. Height does matter. What's his name? Dylan almost as tall as who's the Kyler Murray. Him and Kyler Murray about the same height. But moving on to the next topic at hand. So another big thing that's going on in the sports world right now is legends are beefing, bro. Legends are beefing. Draymond Green versus Kenyon Martin has lit up this internet. This probably been the biggest sports beef in a while. I don't think we've had one quite like this for a minute. So I definitely just want to talk about that real quick. So I know it started because I think Kenyon Martin was getting interviewed by Marcellus Wiley, and he basically was saying like, you know, Draymond is a fake tough guy. Like all the antics, all the flagrant fouls, all the suspensions. It's really he's more calculated than anything. He knows who to choose and when to choose his spots. You feel me to go
Mm.
ahead and act up. In response to that, Draymond Green was very upset. Because they're both born. So Kenyon Martin was born in Saginaw, but he was raised in Dallas. So they're both technically born in Saginaw, Michigan. So Draymond Green just felt like, you know, Kenyon Martin was always picking at him, always, talking stuff about him, and then also talking about, how Nick Young, one of Draymond's past teammates in the championship, he's saying how Nick Young's ring was fake or whatever. So Draymond went to bat for Nick Young, saying that, Nick played a role within their system. He definitely earned his championship, but more at Kenyon Martin saying that he underachieved, in his career, not winning any championships, no MVPs. I don't think he has a DPOY, and I'm not sure how many defensive teams that he's done. I'm gonna look that up while we talking. But basically, that's the gist of the beef. So let's keep it on the main things that kind of ignited to where it is now. You got Kenyon calling Draymond a fake tough guy, and then you got Draymond saying that Kenyon is an underachiever. So I guess my first question to y'all is that do you believe there's any validity behind what either person said? Um, and anybody can start it off on this one.
I'll
I
go
don't
ahead.
You
think
know,
there's
oh,
I
Okay, go
don't
ahead.
think there's any validity. Oh, you can go ahead, Mamba.
No. Go ahead. You started.
Should have moved.
I don't think there's any validity behind what Kenyon Martin saying about Draymond being not a fake tough guy, and I also don't believe what Draymond is saying is that Kenyon Martin has actually underperformed as a first ballot, not first ballot, as a first round draft pick, number one to be exact. He has become an all star. He has done all NBA for a rookie team. I think he got Player of the Month as well. But I don't think he actually got DPOY, but he has been a leading story. He has been a defensive menace on his team. He has been a leading scorer for a team. But bottom line is he didn't win anything. In today's society, we always talk about if you don't win nothing, you underperform. So I don't think he underperformed. I just don't believe he has met the standard that we have created today to match what LeBron has been doing.
Right.
And Draymond's side, if Draymond Green or a Draymond Green S person was on the Atlanta Hawks to help out Trey Young, we would be saying Trey Young is equivalent as Stephen Curry. Without Draymond Green, Stephen Curry would be a defensive liability. But
Right.
Draymond Green, because he does all the little things and he looks out for Stephen Curry, Steph Curry looks untouchable. The other team's not able to overscore on Steph Curry whenever it's a weak side being on him. Like for instance, whenever it's Luka Doncic versus Steph, there's always going to be a switch to get Steph Curry on Luka. But
Right.
Draymond would always find a way to cancel that out. And that's just one simple example. And he does that with game in, game out. He has made numerous of sacrifices to make sure the team's able to get number one. That's how he almost got MVP, Finals MVP against LeBron.
Yeah. Nah, I agree. Before the next person goes, accolades for Kenyon Martin, 2004 All-Star selection, one All-Star selection, 2001 NBA All Rookie First Team, 2003 NBA All Defensive Second Team, and then 2004 NBA All Defensive First Team. So no DPOYs, All Rookie First Team, uh, and a defensive first team and a defensive second team, and one All-Star. Oh,
I want to say something.
no, go ahead.
I love basketball. Like I'm a basketball junkie. I love football, but I watch basketball so much. I've watched so much of it. If I want to
Mhm.
watch people fight, I'm gonna go watch the MMA. If I want to watch boxing, I'm gonna go watch the MMA. I played against tough people. I played against people who aren't tough. There's no validity in what he's saying because it's like we live in a society where it's like everybody's day and age of basketball is going to be better than this generation, right? How many times have we heard the 90s was tougher and it was better and blah blah blah. Early
Right.
2000s was great. You could put somebody in your butt. It was hard nose, tough nose. But if I seem to remember correctly, Kenyon Martin has got punked out by all of Detroit. He got punked out by the Lakers. He got punked out by a lot of other teams. As great as he was, and he was great, Draymond Green is a different caliber of player. And I actually read a comment the other day, was like, I judge you on your basketball knowledge by asking you, is Draymond Green a Hall of Famer? And I asked that because you either look at it one, two ways. You look at Draymond now, or you look at Draymond in totality and you say things like, could he play on another team in the system? Draymond Green is an undersized power forward who set great screens for not only Steph, but for Klay Thompson. He not only could bring up the ball, but he passed, he defended your best player. He averaged a triple double at one point. He locked down your best perimeter player, and he was an enforcer. You can say that he's choosy when it comes to being tough with certain people, but at the end of the day, nobody else has checked him on it. I don't want to hear what an ex NBA player has to say. If anybody has a problem with it, they got to step to him. And Draymond Green, and mind you, I hated the Warriors. I hated the Warriors for years because they were going against the Cavs. So me
Facts.
even defending them is disgusting in my soul. But I feel like I have to because Draymond Green, there should be no disrespect. This man is a four-time champion. And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he a defensive player of the year?
And look, you know what? I got these for you. Give me a second. So you got
Yell him out, please.
four NBA championships.
Mm,
He was a DPOY in 2017. He was an All-Star four
mm.
times, All NBA second team in 2016 and third team in 2017. He has four first teams, four second teams. So he has a total of nine all defensive teams. Of course, he's a two-time Olympic gold medal winner. And then other notable achievements: career high in assists per game was 8.9 assists, but that was 2020 and 2021. He had his career high in steals was 1.7. That was also in 2020 and 2021. And he is the franchise leader for the Warriors in triple doubles. 31. 31 triple
That's
doubles.
insane. That's
Yeah,
insane. For you to understand that level of like productivity, and I'll pass it off, you really got to understand basketball, understand he affected the game in three different ways. That's literally what it means when you average a triple double. That means you
exactly.
affected it in scoring, rebounding, and assist in a positive way to help your team. Steph Curry is obviously the general, but the nucleus that helped run that team was Draymond Green. You switched them out, and like Malik said, you got defensive liabilities, you got no good screens, you don't have anybody keeping you together. And at the end of the day, I personally feel like if we're just talking about each other, I don't care about who's tougher. I care about who's going to help me win. And you brought up something that was important. He was chosen to an Olympic team and he won two gold medals. You don't just get picked on the Olympic team because you're kind of good. It's because you mesh well and you bring something to that team and they were able to win. So I don't think there's any validity, but I also, um, to that point, I think careers are different, but the beef is just petty. It's just old
Facts.
heads being mad.
Yeah.
Facts. Facts. Nah, you broke it down perfectly, honestly. Mama, what's your 2 cents into it?
I mean, I agree with kind of Malik kind of said what I was gonna say. I think like as far as like both of them just kind of grasping at straws. Like it's when you're looking at Draymond, his numbers are not gonna show really what he does on the floor. So I feel like when he went back and was reading that 300 players that he felt like had were averaging better numbers than Draymond, I'm like, you just can't do that because the shit that he does on the floor, like it's more of an eye test rather than actually what the numbers will show you. And then again, on Kenyon Martin's side, like I have to also admit that like at some point he was leading the offense. At some point he was battling some of the greats. So I feel like they're just like throwing jabs. Like this is just a battle of ego, and we just gotta just watch it, just let it play out.
Nah, I agree. I agree with with everything both y'all said. I mean, it's definitely a battle of egos. It's definitely a battle of old heads. Again, I don't believe there's validity on either side. It's like you can see on the underachieving side, you can see where Draymond's coming from because you would expect more from somebody who was the number one pick and who was dominant when he was at the University of Cincinnati. But you do got to think like Kenyon Martin was a leading scorer. He was the primary runner, primary force that got that Nets team to the finals twice. It doesn't happen to everybody. And then also, like I believe basketball only improves. I'm never going to agree with like the 90s were better, 2000s were better than what we've seen in
Hmm.
the 2010s and up to now. But I will say like on Kenyon Martin's side, he was injury prone. Like he got some major injuries, and back then, like medicine and technology were not what it was now. If he would have got those injuries like late 2010s, and now, like he would be able to bounce back and still have that same dominance.
For
But
sure.
every time he got injured like that, you can see like it wasn't that he wasn't the same type of player. Um, and then also like the era that he played in, like he played with power forward. He played against Paul Gasol, Jermaine O'Neal, Rasheed Wallace,
Duncan.
Amari Stoudemire, Chris Bosh, Dirk. uh
KG.
KG, Tim Duncan, like it
All the greats.
that's what I'm saying.
Like,
Like the power, we got to admit the power forwards in that 2000s era, that was like different. That was insane.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
They were
again,
also doing cocaine at halftime, all of them, and that's why he was injury
And,
prone. I just want to throw that out there.
I was going to say, I don't also believe he was. Yeah, he was doing cocaine. He was drinking
He was
liquor during the game.
drinking.
It just
Yeah,
wasn't.
bro.
man,
I can't be mad that people take care of their body now. Them dudes was doing like cocaine at halftime and drinking shots, and Shaq ate 4 Big Macs before every game. I don't know. At this point, what am I supposed to do?
no,
no, that's
insane.
OG.
Nah, I feel
That's
that. I
OG.
feel that. But no, on the Draymond Green side, like, and I hate that I've come to a point where I'll defend this man. I feel the same way as Tim. Oh my God, y'all have to understand the hatred for the Warriors was real, especially when you were a Cleveland fan and a LeBron fan. Bamba also agrees. Like Jesus Christ, and you know what? It's funny because I can't remember which NBA All Star they had in Cleveland when they were introducing everybody, and then when they introduced Steph Curry, they all booed
They
him,
will.
and it was like we're past that point. But yeah, I understand. You feel me? But man, Draymond Green, he's a certified Hall of Famer, bro. I also, it's like the argument is petty, but like on the where I fully don't agree with Kenyon Martin is like when you start off an argument saying, okay, now let's take those championships away, you lost. You lost because
You lost.
you can't take the championships away because at the end of the day, yes, it's Steph, yes, it was Clay, yes, they added KD, but that man again averaged a triple double at points. You feel me? 31 triple doubles, leading the franchise, and he is the facilitator. There was as far as point forwards, there's LeBron, and then there was Draymond. Like those were the facilitators at their peaks. You feel me? So it's just like
And not to interrupt you, I got a good point. Here's a point that you guys would love, and I even hated to admit it. Draymond is so good that we talked about in the game 6 of the finals where he wasn't in, that if he was in, it could have possibly led the Warriors to another championship. And that's been a debate, and that just shows you how good he was even in that time. Now, granted, us fans of LeBron and Kyrie, we think that no matter what, they were going to win it, and they were
yo,
amazing.
yeah,
But
I
that
was
just
just about to
shows you.
disagree with you, but
No,
thank you
no,
for
no.
saying
But like,
that.
because I believe that it wouldn't have mattered. But what I'm saying is the fact that so many other people believed it showed you the trajectory of where his career was at that time and how just valuable he was. And I don't
True,
think
true.
Kenyon was at that level. However, Kenyon overall could score, he could play make a little bit, but I don't know if he would have fit in that system. He probably would have punched you and then dunked the ball. I don't know. It's just different.
facts, facts. So I guess before I get off on my end of segment, which the last question will not take us long, but we got to do it. Who's winning in the 1v1?
1v1?
Who's winning in the
In
1v1? Who
their
y'all?
in their primes,
Hey,
Yeah, I was gonna say you
both
got to be in their prime.
both at their peak. Both at their peak.
Oh,
Kenyon Martin.
Kenyon, for sure.
That's
Okay.
not even close. Kenyon Martin.
Y'all don't think Draymond can lock him down?
Nah.
Nah, I think okay. Here's what's gonna happen. They play to 11. The first point, they start talking trash. The second point, all out fight. The game is over. They're all out fist fight. The game is done.
Facts. It's done.
Matter of fact, that's for the 11th point. You gotta win these.
Yeah, facts.
I'm
Like, let's just
good.
fight. All right.
Yeah, I'm saying it would be so intense. Imagine that game, them tying at 10-10, they playing to 11 straight up. Like that, it's going to take them 2 hours to score that last point.
Elbows, knees,
I would pay
all them
money.
shits.
I would pay real money to watch that.
I
Facts.
would too.
All right, wait, hold on. Coda, you got to, I know you're trying to be a guest star, bro, but you got to go.
I guess start coding. But wait, I had something to say. I feel like Kenyon is over, or I would say he's underselling the fact that like you had also one of the greatest point guards of all time on your team. That offense was ran through the East.
Facts.
It wasn't like the East had great competition in the early 2000s. The Pacers were getting older. They figured it out later on, and the Pistons weren't who they were. So you figured it out, but then you also played with Carmelo Anthony in Denver
Facts.
And Allen Iverson.
And
and
Allen
Allen
Iverson.
Iverson. Come on
Facts.
now.
Nah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. He definitely every time it was time to argue that he would always change the subject because that's something that Nick Young was bringing up too. Also, I guess let me ask this too before we move on. Nick Young, do y'all think it's right for Kenyon, Rashad, and Gill to say that he didn't contribute to his championship?
They be hating.
No,
They
They
be hating
hating.
no,
on the
they're
nigga.
hating.
Okay.
I hate too.
I would hate too. The bottom
Facts.
line is for those people, they were like leading scorers for their teams respectfully, but they couldn't even get close.
Facts. Exactly. But my thing is like niggas forget how nice Nick Young really was, bro. Like
Yeah.
if there
He
was
can
any
play.
point, in the series, if Clay went down and Nick Young, they said Nick Young, we need you to fill that role. Obviously, not making threes at the same clip as Clay, but if he was able to fill that role, I feel like they still win the championship. You feel me? Like Nick Young was nice, bro. He's so
If he
he.
had something else beside the mohawk, he would have went for
I'm
it. Just
sick.
the
so
mohawk.
I'm sick.
For sure. All right. So the last thing I want to talk about sports, and then we can move on to the next segment. I have to bring it up. I know that Mamba actually he adopted my love for Michigan, so this matters to him
Oh,
too.
I'm weak.
I know we ain't got none of the opposition on here, so like I say, it won't be a long question, but I have to highlight it as the Michigan fan I am. Michigan versus Ohio State, the game that started in 1897. It's hate week. This is very passionate.
2187.
This is very, very, very passionate for me because you have to understand, specifically as a Michigan fan that grew up in Columbus, Ohio, I have felt the everything that this rivalry has given since I've been born into this world. I know the history. It started over at a border war for Toledo. Like this is deep, deep hatred. Like this is the only rivalry that I have seen traverse other beefs, as far as corporate beefs, rap beefs, gang violence,
This nigga's crazy.
political violence. Like this is the only rivalry that I've seen affect every aspect of negativity that this world has to offer. So
Cool.
of course, I'm on the good side of this rivalry, Michigan. We are leading in the overall category, 62 wins. Ohio State has 51 wins, and then there's been 6 ties. Another addition to the game this Saturday. All I want to ask is, more recently, Michigan has won the past 4 games. Last year, to me, was Ohio State's best chance to beat us because we didn't have a quarterback. I'm pretty sure our quarterback threw for over 100 yards once last year. But yeah, we were heavy run base. We still had a pretty solid defense, and we're able to get the win over them with 13-10 with that last second kick. Um, I believe we're
How
gonna do
much
it
did they
again.
spend? How
Say
much did they
again.
spend last year again?
They spent about $2 to $7 million on their roster.
Mm,
That was
mm.
the best roster in
Oof.
college football history as far as
Oof.
so yeah. So again, to me, I believe that Michigan I believe that their record right now, yes, we have a winning record, but there's a lot of things that we needed to fix as far as our secondary on defense. We don't have the same upfront talent on our line that we did last year as for Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant. And our edge rushers have been holding us up on defense when it comes to the line. Middle linebackers have been, they've been here and there. It's been hot and cold. Secondary has been absolute trash. But our offense, to me, looks way better than it did last year because we actually got a quarterback that can pass. And mind you, he is a freshman. A lot of people say he's been underperforming, but to me, as far as a freshman that is progressing, he is playing exactly how he should be playing. Um, I am nervous. I'm always nervous. I'm always going to be nervous because this is something that affects me emotionally. You feel me? And every Michigan and Ohio State fan will tell you the same thing. To me, this game matters more than a national championship. So, but I still do believe that we are going to get this W. We are going to find a way to win because as good as they were last year, they look so much better this year. They look so much better. And their quarterback is the most accurate quarterback in college football with an 80.3 completion percentage. Like it's looking scary, and they got the two best wide receivers in the whole college football, and Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate, and then the other wide receiver Ennis. He has nothing to play with. I think their only weaknesses they've had highlights and they've had spots, but their only weakness on offense is their running backs. I don't think their running backs has been as good as they were in previous years. But again, no, y'all have probably don't dive deep into it like I do, and not sure how much each person keeps up with college football. But I just need a prediction. What do you think? How do you feel like the game's going to go? Who do you think is going to win?
31-24.
31-24. Those boys in blue.
That's the exact score you're gonna see.
Obama, if that's the exact score I see, I promise you, I put my right hand to the man. If it is 31-24, I will send you $100.
That's a bet.
I will send you $100. I want it to be, but if it's that exact score, I will send you $100. I'm saying it right now, so it's recorded.
The footage is right here.
He gonna make this into a short. But Malik, what you think?
I think it'll be overtime, 17-17, final score, 24-17, Michigan.
Hey, okay, we got some support over here. I like that. Sam, we gonna end it off on you. Let's see if
So
let's see.
I've been paying attention. I've been paying
Okay.
attention to this. So because you guys met my close friend D Mike. He's just the biggest Michigan fan as you. Like been posting about it all week. And one thing that I always say about rivalry games is no matter how good you played all year, when you play a rivalry game, it gets a little bit more tense. The hits hurt a little bit more. The bright lights become a little brighter. And Julian saying is good. He has all the weapons, but Michigan has been there too. I think it'll be similar to what Malik is saying. I don't think it'll be a high score. I actually have a 20-17. That's kind of crazy. I have a 20-17 because I think it'll be a good defensive game. Um, at first, I'm not gonna lie to you. I really thought that Ohio State would like just come in and just overpower them with their offensive force. But I really believe if Ohio State does not win in the first quarter, Michigan can win. And here's why. Y'all are mentally tougher. That is the difference. Y'all are mentally tougher, and I feel like if I'm a betting man, which I am, I'm putting my money on Michigan. I am. Everybody's picking Ohio State. I actually despise that stadium a lot. I've been there a couple times. One of my best friends went to Penn State, so it's always forget Ohio State. So I'm rocking with the boys in blue. I got them 20-17.
Okay, bet. I'm glad I ain't gonna have to box Tim at his Thanksgiving dinner. Love that.
Oh man.
Crazy.
Because if it look,
Oh man.
it's hate week. If he made any other prediction, I was showing up with gloves and a
Hey,
food tray.
hey. That wouldn't have stopped if it wouldn't have lost for them, brother.
But nah, that's look, we definitely gonna see. But yeah, man, that's it. This has been a sports segment. Tim, we appreciate you for joining us.
Thank
If
y'all
you
for having me, man.
Of course, of course. We're gonna move on to the next segment, but before we end off here, I just want to let everybody know. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, send this to your friends, send this to your family, and send this to your grandma. Um, except if she's an Ohio State fan. If she's
Hey.
not, you
I'm
know
a
what?
sure Buckeye.
Okay, yeah, we we
Woo!